Hi, my name is Jenny Sherman, and I write for theexaminer.com as a Plano Films examiner. I write for Inside Pulse, and I write for the Dallas-based Red Carpet Crash. And today is Saturday, April 14th. That's right, because yesterday was Friday the 13th. And it was also the first full day of the Dallas International Film Festival. And I was unable to attend opening night, which was Thursday night. Only one film was shown, and that was Josh Radnor's new film that he directed called Liberal Arts. You might know Josh Radnor from TV's How I Met Your Mother. He plays Ted Mosby. And his first film that he directed was called Happy Thank You More Please, and it did really well at Sundance in 2010, I believe. And it was just recently released on Netflix and on DVD last year, and I watched it and I reviewed it. I'm a big fan of How I Met Your Mother, and I was really disappointed with Happy Thank You More Please. I felt like Josh Radnor had a whole lot to say, but it was kind of like he threw all of the independent film quirky cliches, put them on little pieces of paper and put them in a hat, and then drew them all out as he was writing the script. Oh, I know. We're going to have a quirky indie girl who has a disease where she doesn't have any hair on her body. And then she holds a party to educate everybody about it. Oh, I know. Lost black kid, and I'm just going to adopt him. And nobody's going to care about it at all or say anything about it. That's, yeah, I really, and it felt like he had some potential, but I didn't really like the movie. I didn't feel like he really achieved anything that he set out to do. But with his sophomore film, Liberal Arts, which I saw last night at the Magnolia, I felt like everything that I saw as potential in Happy Thank You More Please was realized in Liberal Arts. Liberal Arts stars Josh Radnor. He plays a character named Jesse, who is mid 30s and works in a college admissions office. And he just is kind of, he got a liberal arts degree in English and in history, and he has this passion for books, and he doesn't feel like he has any kind of career that can really, where he can live up to what he intended to do when he was back in college. Well, he gets a phone call that his favorite college professor, played by Richard Jenkins, the amazing Richard Jenkins from 6 Feet Under and so many other things, but he gets a call from his favorite college professor who is going to be retiring, and he asks him to come and speak at his going away party. So Josh Radnor, goes back to Ohio. The whole film was shot in Ohio last summer, and he goes back to this college, and he just kind of relives all of this time in his life that he sees as the best time ever. And it was a time where he could talk literature and poetry and history and everything with all his friends and with basically anybody that he wanted to, and nobody thought he was a geek. It was cool. But if you go up to a random person on the streets of New York and say, hey, have you read the, Pride and Prejudice or something, they're like, what? Why are you talking to me? So he really misses that time in his life. So while he's there, he meets a college student named Zibby, which is short for Elizabeth. That was kind of hard to connect, but Zibby, great nickname. But anyway, she's played by Elizabeth Olsen, who was also in Marcy May Marlene, which if you missed that, it's on DVD now. Go rent it. It's amazing. She's this college kid, and he kind of develops this relationship with her. And after he goes back to Manhattan, they kind of trade letters. And throughout the course of the movie, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen to Jesse. A lot of things happen between Jesse and Zibby. A lot of things happen between Jesse and this old professor. Jesse also befriends this kind of loner guy on the college campus named Dean. A lot of things happen with all these relationships and all these varying age groups. Retirement age, mid 30s, young adult kind of finding yourself stage, and then college where, you have your whole life ahead of you. So a lot of really great things happen in that movie. One of which is a really funny role that Zac Efron, of all people, plays. He's kind of like a hippie stoner type, only he doesn't drink and he doesn't do drugs. He's just very like straight edge. Um, but he kind of plays Jesse's Jiminy Cricket, and he just kind of randomly shows up and gives him this existential advice, man. Like he does so great, and I really wish people would cast Zac Efron in more films now after seeing him with this kind of role. He's great. But what I got out of the movie after they talk about all these different times in our lives and all the struggles that we go through in different stages, um, the best place for us to be is right where we are now. We might spend all of our time reminiscing about the past and how great it was back in the old days, and we might spend a lot of time, worried that we're not going to accomplish what we want to accomplish in our adulthoods. But really, the best time ever in our lives is right now. And it's kind of a basic message, but it was really, really well done, well acted. The script was sharp and funny, and it was incredible. It was an incredible film, and I really have a feeling that that's going to stick with me for the rest of the year. And right now, it's my favorite film of the year by far, even after seeing Cabin in the Woods. All you horror fans, that's probably my number two. So that was my first film of DIFF, and after seeing that film, I was on festival high. Oh my gosh, this movie was so great. Now I've got a whole week of films to see that are just going to be so great. And well, then I went to the screening of a film called Somebody Up There Likes Me. And this was directed by Bob, I'm having to read it because I don't think I can pronounce his name, Bob Byington. He directed a film that came out a few years ago called Harmony and Me, which also played at the Dallas International Film Festival when it was released. Somebody Up There Likes Me was filmed in Austin, and it stars, is it Nick Offerman? I don't watch Parks and Rec. I know. No. Yeah, I don't watch Parks and Rec. But he is in it. A guy, I can't even remember his name, the lead character, it's something Paulson. But Jess Wexler is in it too, and she was the main character in Teeth, if you remember Teeth. I don't know how you could forget it. But anyway, this film was introduced by James Faust, who is the director of the Dallas International Film Festival. Great guy. He was talking about how it's quirky and funny and sometimes a little bit vulgar, and yes, it was all those things. It was also not very good, in my opinion. The dialogue was awkward, and the main character, his name is Max. We follow him. We'll have a story that happens, little developments that happen, and then 5 years later. And then little developments happen in that span of time, and then 5 years later. So within the span of the movie, I really didn't count. It's got to be something like 30 or 35 years that go by within the course of the film. The two actors that play the main characters, this guy that plays Max and Jess Wexler, who plays Lila, who ends up marrying Max, and they have a son. All of the main characters in the film do not age over 35 years. I mean, they didn't even try, and they all look early 20s, except for Nick Offerman, who looks like Nick Offerman, chain smokes through the whole thing. He was pretty funny. The only character that grows up or ages at all is the son that they have. And it's so strange. By the time the movie is over, Max, the main character, who is the father of his son, Lyle, Lyle is played by a man who looks older than Max by the time he dies. It's just a very strange film, and the dialogue is so awkward. It's like if Napoleon Dynamite had a younger, more awkward, darker haired brother who lived in Austin and got married and had a kid and then had an affair with the nanny. It's just odd. The film is only around 75 minutes long. It felt like 2 hours. By the time it was about 30 minutes in, I was checking my watch and really, really wanting to skip out early. I might have done that if the director's buddy wasn't sitting behind me. And the director was going to be coming in for a Q&A after the film, and I didn't stay. I kind of wish I had, because sometimes they give you good insight on that kind of thing. But anyway, that is my update on day one of DIFF. I am about to go to a screening of Cinema 6, which Clay Lifford is a Texas guy. I believe he was cinematographer on that one. And I've got a few other really good ones today. So I hope to give you another update either late tonight or tomorrow morning. Probably be tomorrow morning. I like to sleep. So that's it for now. Thank you so much. Bye.